Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to CraftStash Live. We are here with you today with my top 10. I'm really excited. So, and let me just turn my phone down because I've got the noise coming from that. Just make sure it looks like we're connected. Yay, I know we've had a few problems in the past few weeks, so we're all up and running this week with no hitches, which is wonderful. So I will be doing lots of things today. I'll be showing you my top 10. I will be trying to look at your comments as you send them through. So while you're commenting, you are then in the chance of winning one of two bundles. So if I just show you what we've got here. So I've got my collection here of my favourite items that are coming up for you over the next sort of few weeks. Some of them are available now. I think they're mostly available now, if not coming very soon. I love these all for different reasons. You are in with a chance of winning half of this, and the other half of this, I'll split it down for you in a moment, just by commenting on the posts. So we have a post that went up earlier this week on CraftStash Facebook page. Please make sure you pop onto that earlier in the week, every week, to be in the chance of winning. Just pop a comment. It doesn't usually, there's a word or a phrase to use. I think it was something like lose top 10, which was ever so odd seeing lose top 10 pop up in all the comments this week. That's one chance to win. The second chance is now on this live. So if you comment on the feed underneath this video anything you want, okay, it doesn't have to be lose top 10, it can just be what you're doing this weekend. Really, what you love about the products would be fantastic. If you've got products from some of the companies, previous products of those, that would be fantastic. So what I'll do is I will now split up for you these bundles and let you know how you're going to win them. So by commenting and sharing, letting your friends know this is on, by tagging us on Facebook, you are then in with the chance of winning the first bundle, which is the Brother P-Touch Cube. It is an amazing little device. I am in love with this. It has Bluetooth as well. You can use it with your phone. I'm going to show you how to use that. It's so simple. It's an app on your phone. You can use your computer and all sorts to print out labels. So sentiments for your cards, scrapbooking, organising around the home. That is fantastic. So this is in the first bundle. These two stamps, these Bohemian Owl set, two stamps here with the feathers, they are beautiful. They are also in the first bundle. I'll be demonstrating those first, actually. So we've got two pots here. You can see from the lids, we've actually got, these are gorgeous, Aurora Flakes from Cosmic Shimmer. If I turn them round, look at this. We have got the golden rose colour here. These are wonderful. Now, these are very messy. I actually have two demonstrations I'm hoping to get to with those different ones. So we'll make lots of mess. It's okay. It's not my house. I don't have to hoover up after. Well, I do really. So there's structure paste as well. Now, this is also from Cosmic Shimmer. This is under the Andy Skinner brand. So if you know and love Andy Skinner, you'll know it has lots and lots of different ways of using it. Very versatile. And again, I'm going to use that as many times as I can to show you how to use them throughout this whole hour. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, and the fifth part of the first bundle is from Crafter's Companion, the Nature Garden. We've got the Lily collection, which is the flower forming foam, and part of the lily, the stem set. Now I'm going to show you how to put these lilies together as well. They are absolutely stunning, and actually one of my favourite flowers, coincidentally. So that's one bundle. In this second bundle, you are going to be looking at the 12 by 12 Farm Meadow papers from Craft Consortium, brand new. If you look at any of these items on craftstash.co.uk, you'll see they all have these brand new banners from them. You won't have seen them a week ago. You probably won't have even seen some of them a few days ago. So it's really exciting that I get to show you, probably one of the first people, at least in the UK, to be able to show you these. So really exciting. We will flick through this. We'll even try and get a card made from it as well. It's beautiful. The designs in there are stunning. We've got Ecoline. Now, you know I love my brush lettering. These are one of my favourite brands of pens to use. We have the set here. They're the primary colours with the blender pen as well. So I'm going to be showing you how to use those in two different ways, hopefully. One for lettering and then one for a background on a canvas. I've got a lot to get through. I really have. We can see here we've got a little peek at Paper Discovery from Olga Direktorenko, sorry. And we have got 2 packs of vellum here included. They are absolutely stunning. Again, we'll go through those, have a look at what you can do with vellum. I've got some beautiful samples here to show you. And then the last thing in the second bundle is the Simply Made Crafts Luxury Handbag Gift Box Set. This is stunning. Again, I've got some gorgeous samples to show you exactly how this looks when it's put together. It really is a beautiful twist on your average gift box. If you are giving gifts, you've got Mother's Day coming up, Easter, chocolates and things, lots of ways to use that, and I'm sure you can make it Christmassy as well later in the year. So let me pop all of these to the side. I'll let you have a look at them while I gather them up, but I'm going to have to put them to the side and keep coming back to them. Let's put them there because I have got no spare hands today, so I'm doing all of this by myself. Let me just have a little look, first of all, at who is online and make sure that we're getting, look, I'm sure we're getting lots and lots of comments here already. Yes, lovely. So I am going to, Sarah loves flakes. Yes, the collection is lovely. Hello, Sarah. Hello, Amber. She started watching. Jane, the printer looks cool. It is really cool. It's really, really easy to use. So if you're like me, I'm a bit of a technophobe. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Now, I really want to go through all of these, and I will go through them all at the end of the live afterwards. So I'll comment where I can. Any questions I will answer. I'll try my best to do what I can while I'm demonstrating. I need about 8 hands today to be demonstrating all of these and to be answering your comments. So please bear with me if you are asking questions. I will come back to you later on. So the first thing that I'm going to be playing with is from Woodware. Now, Woodware have recently revamped their packaging, so they're a fantastic brand. They have been around forever, it feels anyway. I have had Woodware stamps for a very, very long time. Fantastic quality, they really are, and the designs are just getting better and better with each release. So we have got the beautiful owl and the feather background today, and I'm going to show you a technique. Now, this is absolutely, let's pop these to the side, my favourite stamping technique. So straight into the demos today. Don't forget, if you're commenting, you are going to be in with a chance of winning. It's a bundle. In total, the 2 bundles are £160. So that is a lot that we are giving away today. So make sure you're in with the chance by commenting on the CraftStash page under this video now. And if you're a bit late to the party, maybe you didn't realise we were here, what you need to be doing is jumping on earlier in the week. When we comment, when we say the video's coming up, comment then. Let us know then. There's always a little password you need to comment with, and that already then gives you 1 chance to win. So I have got the owl stamp here. Now, this is a huge stamp. As you can see, I've already popped it onto my clear block there. It sticks beautifully. What I'm going to be doing is what I call a burnt wood technique, because it looks like burnt wood. So the first thing I'm going to do before I ink up, I've got Distress inks here, one of my favourite ink pads, but I know there's lots of others on the market that will blend with water, that will react with water. Everyone's sort of catching on to that now. I mean, Distress ink or Spectrum Noir do some as well. There's lots of them. Now, I have got watercolour paper. This is really important. My paper isn't a smooth stamping cardstock. It is a watercolour one, okay? Now, I've spritzed that with water, and it's actually quite a lot of water as well. If you were using any other paper, that paper would sort of crease. You can see it's curling a little bit, but because it's watercolour cardstock, it will hold that water. Now, I'm going to add the ink to my owl there. This is the brown. You can do this with any colour. All different colours would look really cool, but I think because of the sort of bohemian look, I want quite natural colours. Now, it's important for me to stress this is not going to be a perfect stamped impression. Okay, the idea is that when you press this down, okay, I'm hoping what you're going to be able to see really quite quickly. I've got my sentiment stamp on the back there. I put that there so I wouldn't forget it. What you're going to see eventually is that ink is going to start to wick up towards, let's lift that up, right, I'm going to carefully lift this up towards, now I'm hoping you can see in there, the ink is spreading, it's wicking, it's with the water, it's all moving outwards, okay? Now, this is what I mean about this stamped impression will not be perfect. It won't be nice and clear, but that's doesn't matter, we're going to fill that in a moment. Now I'm going to lift this up, and there's going to be some excess moisture there. So I have got tissue and kitchen towel. Be ready just to mop up what you need to here. Okay, because we're going to use this stamp again. And then I'm going to bring in, you can see it's all, it's a bit blurry. That's perfect, that's what we want. I'm just going to zoom in on this a little bit actually, just so you can see hopefully a bit more what I'm doing. So there we go. So I've spritzed this water here. I've spritzed this water here. So this means that the ink I've first applied, hang on a minute. Let me just talk to you while my heat gun's not on. I've spritzed this with water first. Somebody's asked a question that I did manage to catch, thank you. I spritzed it with water so that the ink would bleed out. If I didn't spritz it with water, the ink would be fairly much in the right place. There's a reason for this. I'll show you in a moment. When the technique's finished, you'll see why we've done this technique first. But without the water, the ink wouldn't disperse and spread like this. So that's why I've spritzed it with water. There, so I think that's fairly dry. It's really important actually to have this as dry as possible. I know you don't want to sit watching paint or ink dry, so I've dried that as much as I can. So now for the second stage, and this is where we add in the detail. So I've now got embossing anti-static bag. Okay, you can pick these up quite inexpensively, and it's just going to absorb any extra moisture and grease that's on there for me. So just pop that on the carpet. There we go. I will hoover up later, I promise. There we go. And now I'm going to go in with embossing instead this time. So rather than the brown, I've got an embossing ink, and again it is a distress ink, but again there are lots and lots of embossing inks on the market. Now what you want to do here is go directly over the image again, exactly where you went last time. And if you've got something like a stamping platform where you can line this up perfectly, that is ideal. I'm doing this at an angle so I don't get my head in your way, really, so you can see what I'm doing. So press that down. So you can see there, around the stamp, you can still see the brown is underneath. We're not going to lose all of that brown. Now, it's important to really press down. If you have any problems with pressing down, if you don't have the strength in your hands to press down when you're stamping, it's a good idea to pop something underneath. One of my favourite things to put underneath is a rubber embossing mat that you put through your die cutting machine. That just gives you a little bit of give, and it helps you to get the perfect impression right, hopefully. This is always a bit nerve-wracking when you can't see the ink. Hopefully that has inked in the right places. So I'm putting white embossing powder over there, and then I'm just going to tip this back into my tub. Ah, look, we can see it now. We can see our little owl has come to life. There we go. So all of the stamps that we've got on CraftStash, pretty much you can do this technique with absolutely any. I'm just going to heat that embossing powder again. I won't talk while the heat gun's on because I'm not sure if you can hear me. So I'll just melt this powder quickly. There we go. So now we've put the detail back into our owl, and I've actually got one here that I've stamped a sentiment on underneath as well. In fact, I've actually got, if I move the Brother printer out of the way, I've got a close-up camera that I can show you on. Hopefully you can really see the detail then there. Let's move these flakes out of the way. So you can see we've got the white embossing, there's the detailing, you've got that brown edge around there where the water is, it's bled out. So Look at that, that's just gorgeous. I love that effect, and it's not a perfect, it's not like your perfect stamping, but I really love it. So that's one you can do. So that's my first one, the Woodware collection of stamps with the owl and the feathers. There's one. Only another 9 to go. So let's move on to the next one. The next one is the Ecoline pen. So now we're going to be doing some lettering. Now you all know I love my hand lettering, but to use these you don't have to be an expert at lettering. So the first thing I'm going to do is letter, but the second thing I'm going to do is a background, and we're going to make a little canvas with them. So you know, you don't have to do lettering at all. Let me see, I need some cardstock, so pop that to the side. Let's pop you back, have a look down there. So Ecoline Royal Talons, again, have been around for a very, very long time, and I absolutely adore these. The reason being that they are a brush pen, and they are what we call a large brush pen, but these are super duper juicy. Okay, so let's write the word Friday. In fact, let me see if I've got a pencil, because one of the things I often say to people is always write in a pencil first, and I'm going to now do completely the opposite and not write in a pencil first. No, crafters don't have what they need when they need them, do they? So no, I don't have a pencil, so we'll be going in straight away. So I'm going to write the word Friday. Oh, this is nerve-wracking, writing it without it penciled out first, as it's Friday. And you can see by pressing down how juicy that is, and then lift up and you get that fine tip. That is beautiful. I love that. And I do go quiet while I'm lettering as well. So you can see how gorgeously yummy these pens are. Now, if you're colouring, they're perfect. If you want to do ink blending techniques, painty backgrounds and things that I'm going to show you in a few minutes, they are perfect for this as well. We need a little dot on the eye there. So we've got the word Friday. It is Friday, it's nearly the weekend. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to flip this round because it's easier than putting my hand in. What I'm going to do is bring in a blue. So blue and pink, I love the two colours, but I also love the fact that they make purple as well. So by having this set of primary colours, you are going to have every colour you can imagine when you start mixing them, obviously. You've got your pink, and your yellow is going to make kind of an orangey colour, or almost a corally colour, and so on. You can do green with the blue and yellow. I'm not going to talk you through the colours. I think you probably all know your colours by now, but I'm just adding a little bit of blue to the tops of those pink letters. Just a little bit. I am not as close as I'd usually like to be when I'm lettering. I usually actually get my face right in there, or I have my glasses on, so just bear with me. And then in this set, what you also get, excuse me, I've been unwell, I've got my voice back finally, but it's still not quite right. I've got a blending pen, so I'm just going to drag this down. This is included in the set of pens. Now this is, if you're just learning to do any sort of lettering, this is absolutely perfect for you, because with the blender you haven't got to worry about joining the colours seamlessly. You can do it afterwards, as I'm doing here. You've got a tip on it that's just firm enough to be able to letter beautifully without pressing too hard and getting a thick stroke where you don't want it. So there's lots and lots of techniques to brush lettering, and in my opinion these are some of the easiest pens to letter with. Now, because this is a clear blender, I am getting some ink on the end of the nib there. That's absolutely fine. I do apologise for coughing. You can take that off on the tissue that I just wiped the Woodware stamp with. There we go. You can blend all the way down. So then we have you can see how it's working. I won't go through the whole letter. I'm just going to flip to the close-up there and show you how we started doing that. I'm just going to have a swig of drink while you have a look at that. 2 seconds. This is where we need someone else. And the reason I bring a drink with me. Okay. Thank you for being patient with my coughing. So, that is the blended pens there. Aren't they gorgeous? So we've got the yellow, the blue. I will stop coughing in a moment. The blender pen, the blank, the blender pen, the black, and the pink, all in one pack. So that is in the second bundle that you will have a chance of winning. So to win, what you need to do is comment on this feed, and if you commented earlier on, you'll also have a chance. Sorry, I will get there in a minute, of winning as well. So thirdly, I'm going to keep these out. I've just put them away, but I'm going to keep them out, and we're going to make a canvas with them. I know it feels like I'm rushing today. I have got I have got so many demos to get through, so many techniques to show you, because I really want to show you the best of all of these products. The next one I'm going to bring in is not only the Ecolines, but also the Brother Printer, which is really, really exciting. This is actually comical that I can't stop coughing now, because it's just typical. I've been fine for days. So let me show you a little sneak of the canvas. Actually, I did show you this on Facebook, if you're on my Facebook earlier. So this is a little sneak of the canvas that I'm going to make. There we go. Now those letters are just balanced on there, but we have got all sorts in there. So we've got the Ecoline pens in the background. We've actually got a brand new apple blossom stamp in there. It's not part of my top 10. It would be if I could have 11 or 12, but that's in there because that is coming up very, very soon on CraftStash. In fact, it might be there already. It may well be there on the website already. These little red bits, if I just take these labels off, because they will be stuck down, this is what I did with the Brother Printer. Can you see that foiling on there? Those gilding flakes, that's those rose gold ones that I was talking about. They are beautiful. I'm going to show you how to get that effect exactly where you want it as well, because very often flakes are very static and they will go everywhere. So I'll show you how to do that too. So let's get on with making this. Right, it will go in a moment. So now this little baby, I love this. It's lovely and small and compact. I've actually got batteries in it at the moment. It takes AAA batteries, but you can also plug it into the mains if you want to. So if we just press the standby button here, and you'll notice there's a little orange light on there, and it's gone green. So what I need to do now is come over and just show you on my phone. I've got lots of notifications and things on there. I've got the Brother app. Okay. What I've done is I've already sort of opened this up, gone through the beginning part. So just download it if you're on, I think you can get it on Android as well. You can get it on the computer. You can get a program as well to use for it. All the instructions are in the box. So I've got the app here. It says create your own label. There are things here already set up for you to make nice and easy, but I do like to create my own. So what we need to do is select text first of all, and we can now type what text we want to write. So I did you are, and then a gap, because I wanted the word, as you can see here, the word beautiful separately, all on one piece. So I can just cut it down. It's quicker than doing 3. So I've left a gap. B-E-A-U. Does anyone else have to say B-E-A-beautiful to remember how to say it? That was from a film, wasn't it? Beautiful, just as you are. And after beautiful, I had a gap as well. There we go. So space. Okay, so done. So you can see here now my wording, just by pressing enter, has gone into my label. I have got capital B, but don't worry, I'll go back and correct that. Now the tape that I have in my machine at the moment is white, and it will print black. There's various different ones you can put in there. You can see here from the list, there's loads of different options of tape. Select the tape that you've got in there, but your machine will know. So if you try to select black with white, and when you've done it and you go to press print, it will tell you actually you don't have the correct color tape in there. So it's all very, very easy to do. Now you can also change things like the, oops, that's the wrong one. You can change things like the font here. I've got word font. I can go through, I've got all sorts that I can change the size, whether it's italic, whether it's centered and such like. But we'll keep it simple today. So I've just typed, you are beautiful just as you are. I'm not going to worry about any of these other options here, but there are options to add a frame around your piece if you want to, various different ones. And you can see if I swipe, there's actually lots and lots and lots of different options there. This machine's amazing. So I'm not going to have a frame. All I'm going to do is print. Now, if I go to print now, I have actually got my machine already connected. Hopefully it's still connected from earlier, and it will tell me if it's not. But if not, it is extremely easy to select. So here we go. That's great. This is what I wanted to show you. Communication error. This is because I haven't connected it to my machine. Okay, so I'm going to come up here where it says PT/ this is your machine. Okay, you need to search for your P-Touch cube. Now I am using this via Bluetooth. The Bluetooth is on my phone, and the Bluetooth is automatically on the machine. So you can see it's flashing, so it's not connected to anything. If I just click here, this will now start connecting. There we go, done. Connection successful. So now we can print. Now when we print, it's going to come out of this end here, that little square there. So just make sure that's not downwards or anything, which I'm sure you won't. So if I hit print and print, it's just asking me how many copies I want. So if we watch this, you'll be able to see it working. Here it comes. That's awesome, isn't it? Isn't that just fantastic? It's not going to just drop out either. I have this button here, which is a scissor tool. Press that, and that just trims it for me. And that's it. That's as easy as that is. I'm just going to press the button, hold the button down, turn it off, because I've got batteries. I want to save the power in it. There we go. So you are beautiful just as you are. I took scissors and I snipped those. And then, I mean, this is waterproof as well, so you haven't got to worry about getting ink or dirty fingers on it. It won't affect it, which is fantastic. They stay nice and clean. So I've snipped mine, and I've just put some foam tape on the backing. It's not self-adhesive. Sorry, it is. It's self-adhesive, so if you want to use that, you can, but I wanted to use a little bit of foam tape to raise it up. Okay, so that's as easy as that is to use the Brother label printer, which is brilliant. So what we're going to do now is pop them to the side. I'm going to come back to our Ecoline pens. Now I want to create this background with them, which is really, really super easy, especially, or even if you've never done ink blending and such like before. I just need to say thank you again for all of your comments. I really do appreciate them all, and I'm sorry I can't reply too much today because I'm on my own. Reading the comments and everything at the same time is really, really hard, but I'm trying. So and I'm trying not to cough or snivel or anything else. So I appreciate you being really, really patient with me today. So before I get started with this demonstration, I just want to let you know, if you're loving these products, the 10 that I've chosen, if you find them on craftstash.co.uk and you pop in the code Lou, when you're purchasing, you will actually get an additional 10% off of any of those. So it's well worth doing that. And do you know what? I don't know if anyone else knows that. So it may only be you watching this CraftStash live that actually knows about that offer. So that's LOU, word Lou, is your offer code to get an extra 10% off any of these products. Right, okay, so I am going to now do an inky background, really easy. I've got a resistant matte here. This is my old one because it's just for mucky things. But a piece of plastic would work just as well. A piece of packaging, you know, you get your dyes and you've got them in a plastic envelope or something. Reuse them, okay? We don't want to throw them out, do we? We don't want to do the rubbish. I'm actually going to use yellow and blue for this one, not pink. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scribble on here some blue in a few places, and then some yellow. Now the idea is obviously the yellow there'll be a little bit less yellow, and they will mix hopefully and make a greeny sort of colour. Okay, because these are water-based inks. Perfect, get a cough in there while I'm spritzing. So because they're water-based inks, they react perfectly with water, so that's ready to go there. And all I'm going to do is splodge. This is a piece of canvas board, but it will work just as well if it's paper or cardstock, okay? If you're going to use paper or cardstock, ideally opt for a watercolour one that can hold the weight of the water and the ink without buckling up too much. But this is a little board here. I couldn't tell you where I got it from, actually. Just something I've had hanging around, a few of them. So I'm just going to press that in, and I'm going to smudge a little bit. Now it is going to get a little bit messy, so again I've got paper towels and I've got a wet wipe here. Okay, and I never know what this is going to look like until I pick it up. So there, lovely. I'm just going to dip that in a couple of extra times just to squidge it about. Brilliant. Okay, so we have mixed on there our very own watercolour background. So quickly I'm going to lift up all this excess water. I don't want to get that anywhere that I don't want it. And I'm going to dry that off with my heat gun again. So I won't talk while the heat gun's on. So a little tip for you as well while you're drying things. I daren't talk over the heat gun because I'm not sure you'll hear me. A little tip for you when you're drying, if you're not sure something's dry, and we want to do heat embossing on this, so we do need it to be bone dry, is just to tilt it towards the light and you'll see the shine. If it's still damp, you'll see the shine. So I can see, just you probably can't see it at all actually, but I can see just here it's still a bit damp. So I'll just whiz it for another few seconds. There we go. I love that effect. That would look really good with Olga's Paper Discovery vellums that we've got coming up in a little while actually. That would look fantastic. Someone's asked what the mat we were using was. That is, I believe it was from Ranger. It's a heat resistant mat. It is heat resistant, so you can do heat embossing on it and things like that without damaging the surface you've got underneath, but it's also really good for doing messy crafts on. It all wipes clean beautifully, so that was that. You can see mine was very old as well. But I usually have a few of them laying around. I have a nice clean one somewhere, but it's probably the same place as all the odd socks go because I've lost it. No idea where it is. Now I'm just using my anti-static bag again, not really for the static or for the greasy marks, but just for any dampness that I have left over from doing that inky background there. There we go. So I can now get on with some stamping. So this is a canvas, so there is some texture to it. Stamping isn't going to be ideal on it, but that doesn't mean don't try it, because I think this stamp is so good. Even though you get a few missed spots because of the canvas texture, it still looks beautiful. I'm actually going in, this isn't in part of my top 10, I've got to stress that, but it's coming very soon and I want to combine it with the Ecoline pens and the Brother printer. It's this gorgeous apple blossom feather wreath, so it's beautiful. I won't show you that too much. It's on the website. I'm sure if you like that, have a little look at that. Now this is a huge stamp, as you can see. It's massive. So if you're thinking, well, I'm new to stamping, I've only got a few little acrylic blocks and things, what I do when I'm running out of acrylic blocks, because I like to keep some of my stamps on them ready if I use them a lot, is actually I actually use an embossing folder. It's a really large embossing folder, closed with a bit of tape around just to keep it closed. That will stick to the outside, and it also has a little bit of flexibility, so if you're pressing down you can still get that pressure in the right places. Now this is a little bit of my stamping hacks, so if anyone else has tried anything else, I've used my die cutting machine plates as well for stamping with, as a plate, as a stamping like an acrylic block. I've used one of those before. Lots of different things actually. Just do bear in mind that this could open as you're stamping, so I've just taped it closed. But it's well worth having a look around, seeing what else you can use. But there's lots and lots of different stamping platforms you can get and such. But as you can see, I'm doing lots of stamping today, so all my other acrylic blocks are ready with stamps on them. So I was running out of blocks. So what I'm going to do, I didn't ink everything, as you can see. I only inked 3/4 of the way round. I didn't need to ink everything. I'm going to bring this wreath off the edge of the canvas there and pop it down. Now this is a VersaFine ink here, so it's detailed, and because of the flexibility of the embossing folder, I can press into the canvas as much as possible to try and get a nice clear image. Like I say, because of the natural texture of a canvas board, you're going to get a few missed spots. Well, you should get a few missed spots. I wouldn't expect not to. And then it doesn't matter because you can see that is absolutely stunning as it is. I love that. I absolutely love this stamp. It's beautiful. Now, I can imagine that as well embossed in white would look gorgeous. I'm going to, again, give it a quick whiz just to dry it, just to heat set it. 2 secs. Oh, I think I've pulled my plug out there. I think I must have pulled the plug out of the wall. Never mind, we won't be heat drying that. There we go. So what I'm going to do instead is take my quickie glue pen, which is here. So I've got a glue pen here, and I'm just going to go in the detail. Not everywhere, I'm just going to go in. Now, you're not going to see a great deal of this, unfortunately, which is a shame, but I'm just going to pick out areas for the gilding flakes to hold on to. I mean, those Cosmic Shimmer flakes are absolutely beautiful. I think they look just as wonderful when there's only a few of them compared to when there's lots and lots of them. Bear in mind that you'll be putting your words over part of the wreath, so there's only so much that you need to colour in. I'm just picking out areas of these feathery wreath here, some little spaces that we can put a little bit of shimmer in. So this is a quickie glue pen. You can pick these up on CraftStash, I'm sure, or you could use a wet glue. If you've got wet glue with a really fine tip applicator, if you use that, allow it to go sort of tacky, then apply the flakes and then let everything dry. The great thing about the quickie glue pen, it does dry ever so quickly, very, very quickly actually. Right, I think I'll just do those. Let's get messy. Okay, let's get the gilding flakes out. So these are the Cosmic Shimmer Aurora flakes. They are beautiful. Can you believe we've been 37 minutes already? I don't even know if I'm halfway through all my demonstrations, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Let's see. So look at these. So now, most gilding flakes, when you take the lid off, they go everywhere. But these ones actually do, to a point, stay in there. Now, what I'm going to do is just take a piece of cardstock here and pop that underneath. This is just a used piece of card. Pop this underneath here so that any that I spill don't go too much on my mat. Now, I did notice that my son had his friend around last night and he left with glitter, gilding flakes all over him. My dog had them on him as well. They do get everywhere, but we love them. So now I'm just going to tip. I'm going to cover this image because I can't see now where I put the glue. That's fine, that's the idea, it is a clear glue. So I'm just going to press all over there and then gently with a finger tap down all over the image. We're not rubbing or anything like that, we're just tapping directly down. I've got loads. This is like Christmas, this is. Oh, don't laugh either because you blow it everywhere. There we go. Now, they will stick to things that you don't expect them to stick to. And what you'll find is you will get them catching on quite a lot. Lots of hard tapping will remove as much of the excess as possible. You can see it's getting everywhere. And then what I'm going to do is get a very, very soft brush. Really, really fluffy soft brush. And just go round in circles, and hopefully you can start to see where it's just holding on to the areas that I wanted it to. I'll bring that up to the camera. In fact, I'll bring it up to the close-up in a minute. I didn't put too much around here because I knew I'd be putting my sentiments around there. I think what I might do actually is later on we might see if we can get this canvas and then the cards we make and such all out as a prize to somebody as well. Look out for a post for that later on. It seems a waste to have all these projects ready and nowhere to go. There we go. So I've just brushed that round in circles and you can see that has stuck to the areas I wanted it to. I wonder if I bring you to the close-up, whether we can see that. Look, that is gorgeous, isn't it? Can't see the colours quite as well there because I've got a really bright light just behind that camera, but you can see the reflection. There's a gorgeous sort of rose gold colour in there. That is stunning. Thank you so much for all your comments as well. I know you're commenting and I'm trying to look here and look there at the same time. I can see them coming through, and I promise I'm going to go through every single one at the end of this hour, and I will reply to any questions and answer anything I can. Hopefully I can answer everything. So the next thing we need to do here is clear up the mess. This is why I put the paper down. We're still going to have a lot of gilding flakes around. I am not a messy crafter. I don't enjoy mess when I'm crafting. It's one of those things. It's one of those things you just have to have, don't you? You can't craft without getting messy. But I am somebody who likes to tidy up between each project. And no, I won't be coming around to tidy anyone else's craft room because I often get asked that. I do enjoy it, but not that much. Right, so I'm just going to take my wet wipe to grip onto some of the flakes and pick up the excess here, just because they will, as you will find out, they will grip onto lots of things. So there we go. So we've got our canvas. I'm just going to brush off the excess from there as well. And then I've got my Brother Printer sentiments here with that sticky back on that I was talking about, and I'm just going to peel these off and pop these on. So right, today actually on CraftStash, it's really exciting. There's a deal of the day. There's actually a deal of the day every day, but today it is a Spectrum Noir marker storage carry case. So it's usually about £36, $35.99. It's now down to $28.99. So if you love your pens, your colouring pens, and you've got those Spectrum Noirs, it's well worth having a look at the deal of the day today on craftstash.co.uk. So there we go. We have got our canvas. Now the only difference with the one that I did before is I put a few Tonic Nouveau drops on as well as little droplets, but you could do that as well to that. So that's our canvas. So that is the Ecoline pens in the background, really, really simple to do. And we've got the Brother Printer label maker there with the P-Touch cube. I've just printed those out, and there's lots and lots of different fonts for these. You can buy different colour ribbons as well, so it's well worth getting one of them. You can see how quick and easy it is for canvases. I'm hopefully going to get time to do a card as well. I think we're running out of time. I'm going to whiz through that now quickly. So the next thing is going to be our from Crafter's Companion. We have Nature's Garden. Okay, so this is the flower forming foam and dies. Now I've got with me today, I've got the stem dies, but I've also had my hands on at home the second set that can go alongside this, which is the lilies. So these stems can combine with lots of other Crafter's Companions flowers, but the stems are absolutely stunning. So I'm going to show you how to use the die and the stamp set together. So that's where I've got one of my petals from a previous set. Now you've got the 3 different colours of foam in there, and it's super fine foam. It's really smooth. It's really, really easy to use, but it reacts with heat. So when you heat it up, whether it be with your fingers, you can use your fingers, you can stretch it, and you can pull it in different directions, and you can just see I'm just using the heat from my fingers and pulling that there, and that gives you some shape. You can use your flower forming tools as well. So if you've got ball tools, embossing tools, things like that, you can use that with it. But you can also heat it with a heat gun. Now this is my favourite way of doing it. Now unfortunately, it's working now. Something was happening with my heat gun, but it's now working. Maybe it overheated for a minute. So I will be able to show you how to shape these quickly. So what I've done with this one is I have die cut and I have or I have stamped and I have die cut. I don't like to stamp with a harsh black when I'm stamping for florals. So either stamp excuse me, sorry snivelling, either stamp the same colour as you're printing onto, a slightly darker colour, so that it'd be a pink and a green, or a pale grey is quite nice as well. So some of you are asking if I can do things, if I can stamp or cut. I can't keep up with the comments. They're coming through so thick and fast. They're actually scrolling too quickly for me to see. What I'll do is I'm going to be doing lots and lots of other videos for CraftStash, for my own YouTube as well. So if you've asked for techniques, I'll leave you a comment and let you know where to look out for that technique if I can't just explain it without a video. So I'm using a pale grey as a memento ink pad here, directly onto the foam. Okay, so that is, I've got my image, but it's not too harsh. It's viewable, that's not the word. It's visible, that's better, but it's not too strong there. It's not going to stand out and look too dark. Now you can see from the packet, they've actually used dark ink. It still looks beautiful, but they have gone in and coloured, and this is actually on paper. So I think for the foam, the pale grey is perfect. And then what we can do, this is funny because I love my animals. It was National Love Your Pet Day yesterday, I think. And funny enough, my cat was sitting on my desk and the sticky bits on these dies have now got black fur on them. So if you see black marks, that's why. Yours will not come with black cat hair on them. So I can just lay that die over the coordinating stamp. You do get 4 in this packet, so all the different sizes. I have made 3 already. I've just got this last one to put together. So I saved the largest one for you to see, and I'm going to take this down. It's a little bit of repositionable tape, something like washi tape would be absolutely fine, just so that I can hold that still where it needs to be. Bring this, I'm going to bring my die cutting machine into shot a little bit. I'm using the Big Shot Plus. You don't need a machine as large as this for these particular dies because they are quite small. In fact, some of the smaller machines on the market would even take these, but I just think with a large machine, an A4 base, you are going to have no problem with any of the dies that you decide to purchase in the future or already have. So it's well worth sort of future-proofing yourself with a large machine if you can stretch the budget. So just take it is. Oh, by the way, foam does go static, in case you're wondering. So when you run it through a machine, you very often do get that it sticks to the plates, which isn't usually a problem. But just so you're aware, there we go. So that has cut out absolutely beautifully there, gorgeous, and I can release my die and such. I'll do that a little bit later. Now for these, I'm not going to colour them today. You can see they're quite pale actually. I would add maybe some dark pink ink at the bottom and some green on here. What I'm going to do is show you how to shape them slightly. Excuse me, I'm not going to start coughing again. So I'm just going to bring in, we were talking about that mat that I was using. I'm just going to bring that in because that will protect my self-healing mat that's under here. These mats will warp under the heat of a heat gun. So if you just use something like a heat-resistant mat like this, I'm just going to hold the end. Now I'm going to hold it with my finger, but you can use something like a pokey tool or your embossing ball tool if you're going to do some shaping afterwards, just so that you don't burn your fingers. And put a little bit of heat on it, and you will see that the flower will start to curl quite quickly. That's when to sort of stop and start playing with it. It'll be really malleable, really soft and ready to shape then. So just bear with me a second. There we go. So you see that shape by itself. Now I'm actually not going to do anything with that because that is a really lovely shape. If I just show you, you can see you've got the curve to it already. That's beautiful. I'm going to do the same, but I'm going to hold this stem. I don't want this stem to move. I want that to stay nice and straight. I just want those leaves to curl slightly. There we go. So if you curl, I mean, it does go from one extreme to the other. So if you just use your fingers and stretch inside there, you can open that back up again. So you can stretch this, you can shape it, you can do all sorts of different shaping effects with it. Now this beautiful lily is so easy to put together. I am going to bring in very quickly my Ecoline pens, only because I want to colour, and foam you can colour with pens. The very top there where the pollen would be, I want to colour that yellow. So that is going to, the stem is going to sit on the bottom of the flower like that. Now at home I'd use a bit of wet glue, but today just for speed for you I'm going to use a little bit of hot glue. Let's see if I can how close I can bring this glue going in. So tiny little blob of glue there. That's probably way too much. And then I'm just going to place that on there. Pop my hot glue gun down and pinch that just for a moment. Try and not let the lily twist round. And go. So you can see we've got this lily being formed with that gorgeous pollen centre. Isn't that stunning? I love that. Now, something I have done as well is I have I have added structure paste to the edges. Okay, I'm going to see if I can just zoom in a little bit more for you so you can see what I'm doing. I apologise if that's not quite so clear. I've got a palette knife here. How are we doing for time? We're actually getting really close to the end already and really rapidly running out of time. Haven't used the texture paste yet. We might have to do a whole other video on the other pieces. And I've just dabbed this texture paste along the edge here. So, just like so. And what that's done is that's added a little bit of texture to the edges. If I just show you some that I've already done, show you why I did that, which I have them just here. This was going to be my next card. I don't know if I'll get time to do. Excuse me. So you can see there I've got the dried texture paste around the edges, and I just think that adds a little something to the flowers there. I've got the 3 sizes, and then of course we've got the 3rd one that I've just done that isn't dry yet. So I've got the 3 lilies there, and I'm going to bundle them up onto a card. Before I do that, I just want to quickly show you that paste, because we haven't looked at that yet, and I think it's absolutely wonderful. So let me take a couple of pieces from, where have you gone? I don't have enough arms. I can't find them. I had them somewhere. They've gone walkabouts. Never mind. We had the texture paste demonstration, so we'll jump straight into the card instead. So we'll jump straight into this. That'll be fine. So what I'm going to do is be using the Farm Meadow. So this was one of my top picks, the 12 by 12 papers. They are absolutely stunning. So we've got all of your little farmyard animals here. So we've got little birds, we've got bunny rabbits and things. I love the tractor. Let me just, I'm going to have to zoom out of this again now. I zoomed in so you can see, and I'll come back out. There we go. Isn't this just gorgeous? Now what I love about this is not only do we have these double-sided pieces, this is the inside cover. Look how beautiful this is. But we've got double-sided papers that are really, really good quality. You can see we've got your typical sort of farmyard images on here, which is perfect for spring and summer. Well, any time of year really. Farmers work all year, don't they? But you've got here, so this is actually, I don't know if you can just see that, it's a pearlized sheet. So it's got like a shimmery finish to it. This one is textured, so we've got like a stippled texture to it, which really makes it feel like top quality paper. We've got some beautiful designs. We've got some other designs that are more generic. So we've got like our yellow polka dot there. Oh look, foiling. Some are foiled as well, but on the rear side they're not foiled. So you don't have to use foil pieces if that's not your bag. Everyone's different. This one again is a pearlized one. So we can see we've got lots of beautiful imagery in here. I adore this. In fact, oh, is it this? This one reminds me, when I was little, I used to have wallpaper. It was, my mother told me it was very expensive wallpaper. Okay, it was from a shop. The initials are LA. I don't know if anyone's still got. I've got one in my town actually still. So I used to have this Laura something wallpaper, and that reminds me of that. So very sort of vintage feel to it. Really taking me back to my childhood bedroom, which is lovely. I just love the colours of these. So what I'm going to do is very quickly, probably going to have to be my last full demonstration actually, is just whiz through a card using these flowers, using some of the Brother printer sentiments there that we've got. I have cut already a matten layer from one of the sheets. You see how they just work together, don't they? The colours are just absolutely stunning from this Crafts Consortium pad here. No, you've got the choice actually. You can, they all just work however I want to use them. No, like this. I think like this. I think so. So I'm going to bring in another product that isn't in my top 10, but again, like I say, this would have been my 11 or 12 because I couldn't have everything on CraftStash, unfortunately. I did ask and they said, no, you have to, you can only have so much. So this would have been another one. But again, this is my sort of, oh, look what's coming up very, very soon. In fact, if you join me on Hochanda on Tuesday, there's lots and lots of stamping techniques. I will be putting more about that on my Facebook page soon. But there'll be lots of products from CraftStash on there that you may not have come across before. So I'm going to cut out first of all the outer die here. Just whiz that through my die cutting machine. I won't bring that into the shot. It's just a simple circle, but these cut beautifully. So these papers can die cut, they can emboss. They are mostly smooth, so you can stamp onto them. You saw we stamped earlier with the apple blossom stamp onto canvas, so a little bit of texture is going to be absolutely fine to stamp on. Now, a little tip for you as well, while I'm just cutting this one out. If you're cutting lots of different colours and lots of patterns, sometimes you may find that you're losing the edges of your designs because of the colour and the pattern, so things don't stand out quite as well as you'd like. That's where you need to bring in inking the edges. By inking those edges, you're going to really lift up all the borders so you can see them clearly. Look at that, that's just absolutely gorgeous. Now, that is stunning. Oh, I've still got a little heart in there. And I love that the hearts pop out as well, so you can use them like confetti. So I've got those, but I'm going to ink the edges just to show you how to make your layers stand out here. So just a brown. A black's a bit harsh, so I've got a tea dye one here. Look at me, I'm tidying up as I go. I've got to stop doing this. Excuse me. And just bring in a little bit to the edge. This one doesn't matter so much because it's going on to the white. So don't forget, I'm going to be announcing winners very, very soon. So if you haven't popped a comment on and you're watching, quickly pop a comment on. Quickly tag your friends, share with those as well. And each week we're here every Friday at 1 o'clock. It will be myself, usually with another guest, special guest. But today it's all about my top 10. So if you're loving these products on craftstash.co.uk, you can get 10% off. Most of these, I mean, I'm also talking about products that aren't in my top 10 because there's so many I love, but the ones that are included in the top 10, you can get 10% off by using the product code LOU. That's just LOU. So I'll have to find out for you actually how long that lasts for, but I would jump on there pretty quickly and grab that. We also have a deal of the day as well. So the deal of the day today is the Spectrum Noir marker storage carry case. So if you've got your pens and they're all sort of in ice cream tubs or in pots on the windowsill, oops, just be careful inking these. Grab that deal of the day today. That is, it's gone down from $35.99 to $28.99. So it's well worth. Keep an eye on CraftStash every day. I check back. Make sure you sign up for the emails as well, because then you'll get notified every morning what the deal of the day is and what's going on. So any special offers and things. There's always offers on. Things like free postage and percentages off. It's a fantastic site. So hopefully you can see there how that has actually lifted that up a lot more. So it's lifted the layers up, so you can see the difference. More of a contrast now. Got this beautiful pearlescent aqua colour here. So I'm just going to use a tape runner here. I want to get this done very, very quickly. Whiz through the last few products for you. And then we can announce the winners. We're going to overrun the hour very slightly. I do apologise. I will announce, if you do have to go, if you're in a lunch break and thinking, oh, it's 2 o'clock, I need to go. I will announce the winners on my Facebook page at the end as well. So if you're wondering whether you've won, you can pop back later and have a look at that too. So just pop that down there. Now I'm going to bring in my lilies. Oh, they're just gorgeous, gorgeous papers. And I've got some little ones as well. pop that one over the top. I'm going to use hot glue for that just to speed up the process of the glue drying. So because of the thin stems, it's just going to be a little bit of hot glue on the back of the leaves and on the back of the head of the flower. There's one. I like to shape these a little bit as well, as in have them bending, not all perfectly straight, because flowers wouldn't stand up perfectly straight anyway. And then the back of the leaf, the back of the flower, drop that one down there. And then the little one is going to go over the top. Tuck that in on there. And lastly, I have my Sending You birthday wishes. Now this was created on the P-Touch Cube, the brother printer that I showed you earlier. If you did miss that, if you've just joined us recently, we'll be finishing in a few minutes. You can then watch back this entire show and you can see exactly how that was used. Very, very simple to do. So I've trimmed these down, and these are adhesive because it is a label maker, so great for around the house, but that just means you can peel off the backing and pop that straight onto your card. You could mat and layer that as well if you wanted to. As you saw with the canvas, you can put your foam tape or your foam tape or your foam pads behind it if you want. Sending You birthday wishes. There we go. So we have that card all put together using the Crafter's Companion Nature's Garden Lily stem set and the flower forming foam. And then we also have Pretty Quick dies, the heart circle, and we have the Craft Consortium papers, and we have the label. That's not straight, is it? I'll sort that out later. But we have the labels as well from the Brother P-Touch Cube machine also. So I have just a couple more things to show you. I have made an awful lot of mess here, but these ones won't be demonstrations. These will be just showing you items. So the first one I want to show you is Helen Griffin's so Simply Made cards. This is her luxury handbag gift bag set. So if you're making gift bags at the moment and they're your typical sort of square ones, maybe you've got circles or ovals or hearts, this is taking it to the next level. Okay, let's just have a look behind me. So let's have a look at this. Can you imagine? Can you actually imagine? Let's bring this forward. Giving something in a gift bag like this. Okay, isn't that stunning? We've got the buckle as well, and look, it all opens up. That's beautiful. We have other ones. I love this one in the black as well, the black and the rose gold. They are beautiful, so simple to put together. Now what I love about Helen's products is, let's just pop these back. Oh, there's a gold and a grey one behind me. That is beautiful. What I love is on the reverse here, she also gives you all the instructions, so you're not left on your own. Really, really easy to do. It's quite simply just cutting a couple of these, a few extra panels, and putting them together. I wanted to demonstrate that, but we're already over the hour, so I won't do that. So that's her Simply Made Crafts handbag gifts bag set. So this is one of my top 10 as well. So you can get 10% off that if you put in the code LOU, L-O-U, when you buy it. Okay, that's on CraftStash.co.uk. And the last product that I don't think we've mentioned too much, and I wanted to show you because it is on my list, is Olga Directorenko's Paper Discovery Vellum. Okay, so there's 2 packs here. They are beautiful. They are in a bundle to win as well. We'll be announcing those winners in just a few seconds. So they are stunning. So there's multiple sheets in each, different colours. Let's have a very, very, very quick look at these. So just one of the packs. They are beautiful. So vellum like this, I mean, you can tear it for that white effect, you can emboss it, you can die cut it, but you can see how gorgeously translucent they are. They still hold their colour. They've got beautiful, beautiful patterns on them as well. All this underwater theme. I am in love with them. I'll just show you a couple of cards with them as well. So very, very clever. So Olga here has created a frame there. Let me do this on the close-up because I think this deserves a close-up. You can see the mess I've made on my table as well. Look. So let's see. she has used it in the background. She's stamped onto it. She's coloured it with some water-based markers as well. I suppose they could be alcohol-based as well. And she's made this into a shaker card. Another one she's created here is, so it's actually half a card. It's like an aperture, but it looks like the water. It's really clever, and you can see my fingers behind it, so it looks like water. And one more I'm going to reach for here is a card that she made when she was on her Chender. Olga is so clever, and she actually used the vellum as the card base, so it really is that strong. It will stand on its own, which is very, very clever. So what I'm going to do now is just come back. Now, I've made all sorts of messes, so I'm glad the camera's just above the table. I need to announce these winners. So let me see. We have, I have to do a drum roll on my own today, which is really odd. It's a really pathetic drum roll. Hang on. So we have, the first one is Charlie Elizabeth Price. She has said, love those flakes. They are next on my list. We'll hold up 2 seconds, Charlie, because you may have won them in your bundle. I'm not sure who's getting which bundle, but you will find out very, very soon. If not, there's 10% off, so don't forget to use that code if need be. Well done. You have won half of my top 10. The next one is Liz Lawrence. She said, a product I've not tried before, would love to have the opportunity to do so. I'm not sure when your comment came in, Liz. I'm not sure which product you were talking about, but absolutely. They are all brand new products, new to CraftStash, new to everybody. I'm really thrilled that I've been able to show all of you some of these. Not as much as I wanted to. A 2-hour show would have been amazing. We could have got through a lot more, but we do just have the hour. I can't keep you all day. I hope you've enjoyed this, the top 10. So there's the Woodware stamps. We had the Ecoline pens. We had the structure paste from Cosmic Shimmer, as well as those gilding flakes as well, those rose gold ones. We had the Nature's Garden lily stems, the flower forming foam. We had the Craft Consortium papers as well. We had P-Touch Cube, which I'm not giving back. I'm going to keep this one. So with the label maker as well from Brother. There was lots more, the Paper Discoveries or the Simply Made Crafts handbag set. There's so much today. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for making an awful lot of mess. I'll spend the next hour tidying up now. Please join me on Ho-Chandra as well. I have some amazing stamping deals for you on there, so hopefully lots of techniques on there too. And we've actually got something very exciting. Craft Consortium are going to be coming to Facebook Live in a couple of weeks. So if you love those papers, keep an eye out. Next week I will be I will be in the CraftStash studio with Christina Griffiths, so that's really exciting. She's got a brand new collection, so I hope to see you there. Thank you again for joining us. It's been a really fun hour and it's whizzed by, so congratulations to the winners, and I'll see you all again soon. Take care. Bye bye.